Hey, customers, welcome back to another episode of Fast Film, where we cover all the news and reviews just for yous. This week, we're going to be covering September 3rd through September 11th. So let's get into the trailers for the week. First one's going to be Godzilla Minus One. I got a trailer from that. It's going to be from Toho, the original company that created Godzilla. Looks like it's taking place right after World War II. Now Japan's going to already be struggling from the fact of, two nuclear bombs. Now they're going to have to deal with Godzilla. It's coming to theaters on December 1st. I'm really looking forward to it. Just like this next show that's coming to Apple TV. That also takes place in the universe of Godzilla. That's Monarch, Legacy of the Monsters. We kind of covered this a little bit before. It's going to be showing Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell playing the same character, and they're going to be going through like that character's life, dealing with these monsters and everything. That's going to be on Apple TV on November 17th.
It's Godzilla Minus One going to be right after Oppenheimer? Is it tied in?
This is it's a direct tie-in.
Oh, sweet. Cillian Murphy fucking up with Godzilla. But Bike Riders is about the rise of a Midwestern motorcycle club and its members. This movie has a huge cast in it. Tom Hardy, who seems to be the leader of the club. It also stars Austin Butler, who just got out of Elvis. And Michael Shannon. I love Michael Shannon. Norman Reedus is in this as well. I didn't know he was in it. I saw a picture of a weird character, and it's him. He fucking looks creepy in this one. Bike Riders is going to be out in theaters December 1st.
So we got a trailer for American Horror Story, Delicate. This show always has like a new theme for every season. This one seems to be following Emma Roberts' character. She's going to be an actress who's tried like to have a family a bunch of times and it's failed. It's American Horror Story, so of course, scary things are going to be taking place throughout it. Big deal now is Kim Kardashian's a role in this. I mean, I personally don't care. Jessica's a huge fan of American Horror Story, so we're definitely going to be watching this in our house, or at least she's going to be watching it, and that's going to be premiering on September 20th.
Fuck that show, dude. But Exorcist Believer had a second trailer release, and this one shows a little bit more creepy shit with creepy kids, and I'm excited for this one. The mom is back from the first movie, and she knows exactly who the demon is because it possessed her daughter in the first one. But I'm definitely excited for this one. It's going to be out in theaters October 6th.
And then we got a trailer for Netflix's next opioid epidemic project. This was called Pain Hustlers. It's going to be starring Chris Evans, Emily Blunt, Andy Garcia. If you watched, what was that other show called that we kind of covered on here? I forget.
With the other killer guy, Matthew Broderick.
Whatever that was called. That covered the whole opioid epidemic and them making OxyContin. They did have a character in that show that was like a salesperson. So they're going to do that a little bit more focused on that kind of character with Chris Evans. I'm a huge Chris Evans fan, so I'm definitely going to be watching this when it's on Netflix on October 27th.
What's the fucking forgetting all your shit?
Dude.
From Studio Ghibli comes the movie The Boy and the Heron? It's a bird. Okay, it's a bird. The Boy and the Heroine follows a teenage boy's psychological development after he enters a magical world with a talking heron who he meets in an abandoned tower. First of all, that's a little fucking creepy in general. But this looks interesting, though. I do enjoy Studio Ghibli movies, and I'm sure it's going to be having a lot of people line up for this because Studio Ghibli has a huge following. Fantastic movies, and I can't wait to see this one in theaters when it comes out December 8th. And also, we have Quiz Lady. Awkwafina stars in a new movie. Quiz Lady and her sister is played by Sandra Oh from Grey's Anatomy. They got to find their mom who ran away from a senior home, and the mom owes a gangster like 80 grand. So Awkwafina happens to be really smart, kind of like Rain Man status, and her sister takes her to some trivia show who's hosted by Will Ferrell. This seems to be like another raunchy comedy, which we spoke about before. We kind of feel like that's back on the rise again. But it's pretty interesting because at the end it does says releasing on Disney Plus, so it's a little weird. But I'm assuming it's gonna be on Hulu since they're kind of bundled up together. I'm not a huge Awkwafina fan, but this one looks pretty funny, and it's gonna be on Disney Plus November 3rd.
And Netflix dropped another trailer for their new Spy Kids movie. They got Robert Rodriguez back to write and direct this one. I mean, I get why they're making another one. It's worth a shot. Like the original came out when we were kids, so It's about time you try a reboot, see if you can catch on with the new generation. I mean, some of us like our age are having kids, like Luis. And then we got Zach Levi and Gina Rodriguez as the parents in this one. And it'll be on Netflix on September 22nd. I'm sure Luis will be watching it and reviewing it for you guys later on.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna try to get through it, but I highly doubt it. Don't wait for me on that one.
Gotta watch it for Luna.
Dude, she don't even watch Shrek with me, dude. I was so sad. But Thanksgiving got a teaser before The Nun 2, and this shit looks hilarious. It's a killer dressed up as a pilgrim going around killing people in hilarious ways on Thanksgiving. If you've seen the old Grindhouse movies, Death Proof, which is another amazing movie, and Planet Terror, they had mock trailers, which actually ended up becoming movies themselves. Like one of them being Machete, that had a mock trailer. I also think they had Hobo with the Shotgun was one of the mock trailers they had. But this looks interesting. It's going to be a hilarious movie. I'll be watching it when it comes out in theaters. Is November 17th.
And man, there was a lot of Netflix stuff this week. So there was another show that Netflix dropped a trailer for. It's about following this girl. Her name's Mia. She just recently got released from like an institution for like she had anorexia. Now she's gone back to her normal life, trying to catch up with her friends. It was kind of giving me Euphoria vibes. I am not going to watch this show unless I'm forced to, and that'll be on Netflix on October 5th.
Another show that had Euphoria vibes was The Idol, but thank God that's canceled. Yeah. And another one we got is the Royal Hotel. 2 American backpackers are traveling through Australia, and they take a job at a local pub to save up money for another trip they're trying to go. I think they're going to try to go to Brussels or something. Couldn't really hear it in there, but the trip turns dark when the locals become unruly towards them, and everything just gets out of control. The trailer looks pretty good. I had no idea it was going to turn into a thriller until on the trailer it showed a font that says you couldn't believe this is a thriller. And I'm like, oh, fucking great for giving me the spoiler of this. But Julia Garner is one of the backpackers who she also played Ruth in Ozark, which is also another amazing show. I couldn't find a release date for this one yet. So once we find out, we'll probably let you know. If not, then look it up yourself.
Yeah. So the big show that's coming out this month, at least a big show for me on Amazon, is going to be that Gen V. They dropped another trailer for that this week. I mean, it's just going to be about the superheroes that like the college that they have for these superheroes. Crazy shit's going to happen. The shows are just like violence and gore. I mean, I love these shows. Like The Boys, I've read every single one of the books. So definitely looking forward to this Amazon show on September 29th. And then for headlines this week, we got good news. Mayor of Kingstown got renewed for another season. So they're going to be doing the 3rd one. Jeremy Renner does a great job in this role. If you haven't checked out this show, it's on Paramount Plus. I mean, last time when this season 2 came out was right when he got his accident. So it's nice that they're actually going to do a season 3 and keep the story going.
And that 70's show, Danny Masterson, got sentenced this week. I believe it was a couple days ago. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember. But he got 30 years for 2 grapes. That's not a good thing to do. But another headline that ties into this is his old co-stars, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, are kind of getting some heat right now for writing character letters about Danny to the judge. And on Saturday, they released an apology video on Instagram saying they're sorry and that the judge was the only person who was meant to see it. That right there alone just shows they're kind of supporting this guy, which I think it's, yeah, you were friends with him for 25 years, but when your friend does something horrible as this, you just kind of tell him to fuck off. But that's not cool to me. Don't support this guy. Fuck this guy. Let him throw the lock away or whatever the fucking saying is. Yeah. Throw him away.
Give him the key.
Throw him away. Fuck this guy.
Dude, I went down a fucking rabbit hole after that shit came out because I found out, Ashton Kutcher's girlfriend was murdered by like the Hollywood Ripper. I think he fucking did it.
You think Ashton Kutcher did it?
I think he did it.
But who knows, dude?
Anyway,
a shot to that one.
So we heard about a new movie that's supposed to come out. It's going to starring Samuel L. Jackson. It's going to be called. He stars as the president in The Beast. The Beast is like the vehicle that the president rides around in. So it's going to be him like using grenades and shotguns that are stored in the limo. He's going to be killing people, fighting him. It's going to be wild. It just kind of reminded me of in The Winter Soldier when like Nick Fury gets attacked in his car. Like it's just somebody saw that and went, you know what, we should just make a fucking movie with Sam Jackson. So they did, or they're going to. So that'll be coming out. And then for reviews this week, we got a good amount of stuff. So Luis, let's get going.
Shit ton of stuff. All right, I'll start off with The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart. So this whole show pretty much released already, but we're trying to fill in some shows that we didn't get to catch up. This show released on August 31st, with all 7 episodes releasing. I finally got to watch the first episode over the week, and fucking Christ, this show is depressing as fuck. At first, you see the family having fun time, and they're dancing in the dining room. I thought it looked cute. I looked to my fiance, and I'm like, "Hey, that shit is hella cute. Let's do that one day." And after that, it goes to shit. Turns out the dad beats the wife and daughter. So right after that happened, I'm like, no, we're not doing that no more. And the daughter's very young, Alice. She's maybe like 8 years old. Turns out Alice ends up killing the dad. She kills the dad. And the first episode is seems to be in the past, because the future episode, or the episodes that came out after that, are all kind of in the future, but it seems like they're going to be going back and forth a little bit. It's a great show. I'm very into it so far. There's a whole theme of flowers in it, and they do mention in the show that different flowers together have different meanings. And when someone is picking flowers, or they show flowers together, they have what it means specifically, what that bundle of flowers means. So it'll show up right next to it on the screen in the fonts. And I think that's a very nice touch. I'm giving this one a very depressing dope, but I'm going to continue to watch it.
Man, just hearing you talk about it's got me depressed. I watched Justified Primeval this week. I don't know. I've never really watched the first show, Justified. I mean, I'm a big Timothy Oliphant or whatever you said the name is. So I watched the first, like a couple episodes of the first season of that show as well. But this one's good. If you watch the original, I'm sure you're gonna like this one. It's just they've been like still being a badass marshal, getting into shootouts and stuff, always being the best like quick draw. This time it's just taking place in Detroit. So I mean, if you like Justified, you're gonna like this. He's a great character, and Timothy's a great actor. So definitely check it out. It's a dope.
Is Walton Goggins in this one?
I didn't see him in this, so
that sucks.
I wouldn't be surprised if he like died at the end of the original show or something.
Maybe, perhaps.
I never watched it, so.
Yeah, but Shane Gillis has new stand-up Beautiful Dogs on Netflix. I gotta say, Shane is becoming one of my favorite comedians. He has my exact humor. Some of the jokes he made I could relate to, from the belly to belly to talking shit about the exes. Frankie saw, you know what I'm talking about when it comes to belly to belly.
Yeah.
If you're into the group of comics Shane hangs out with, like Mark Norman, Tom Segura, you'll love this stand-up. It's definitely dope for me. Check it out on Netflix.
Yeah, it was definitely dope. So I watched a couple of the Paramount Plus shows this week. I checked out Lioness. That was Taylor Sheridan's new show. This one's got Zoe Saldana in it. I mean, the first episode's awesome. I can't believe I really missed this one. Like, I'm gonna keep watching the rest of it. I mean, she's the badass like leader of a military team, and it's just badass shit from Taylor Sheridan, man. The guy kills it on pretty much every project he does. So if you have Paramount Plus, give it a shot. And then the other show, Lower Decks, at Star Trek Lower Decks, dropped a couple episodes for their season 4. If you like Star Trek, you'll like this show. I mean, it's just funny. It's just poking fun at Star Trek stuff. It's all about the people that real Star Trek shows. You follow like the captain and like his crew on like the bridge and stuff. This is all like the people that do all the maintenance work and like the lower people. So it's just kind of funny. They get into like the typical Star Trek adventures as it goes on. If you like the Star Trek stuff, you'll like this. It's gonna get an eye for me on this one. The first 2 episodes were just okay. The first season of this was awesome though, so I'm definitely going to keep watching this week to week.
Dude, when you told me you were watching Lower Decks, I swear to God, I thought you were watching that reality show Below Decks, where it's about the fucking workers on yachts and shit. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck are you watching that for? But that's a good show too, though. So we have another show that we didn't get to fully watch, but it's still continuing right now. Shelter originally released 3 episodes on August 18th, but I got to catch the first episode again over the weekend. And at first, I felt like it was some typical teen show, but it's actually pretty entertaining. It follows a character, Mickey, who loses his dad at the start of the show and moves to a new town to live with his aunt after his dad's passing. Of course, the town has its creepy house everyone is scared of, and Mickey ends up seeing Bat Lady. Bat Lady is the person that lives in the creepy house, and one day he runs into her, and she tells him that his dad is still alive. So now he wants answers. And we don't really get anything answered so far. Of course, it's only the first episode, but I'm gonna keep watching this show. It's still going on, and the plan's to end on the 15th of this month, so I'll be watching it for hopefully catch up for the finale. But I'm giving this one a light dope. It's pretty good, but it's not a great show. It's just entertaining. It's a light dope for me.
So the first 3 episodes of Apple TV's new show, The Changeling, dropped this week. The first episode of the show was pretty slow. Like after watching it, I was just like, I don't know if I'm fucking into this. But once getting to like through the third one, it gets wild. I'm fucking in. Like this whole story is about like he falls in love with this girl. They get married. Well, before they get married, though, she goes and like meets a fucking witch in Brazil. She fucking it's crazy shit, man. It gets so wild by the third episode. Like, just here's a spoiler for the third episode. She loses her mind after they have a kid and she boils the baby. All right. It's a fucking insane show. I want to watch the rest of this. I need to see like, and then she just disappears. Like after that happens, I need to know how this ends now. Like it's a definite dope for me. Get through that slow start in the first episode because it kicks in the two and the second and definitely the third. So check it out on Apple.
Well, changeling is actually a thing too. It's a thing that takes over a baby or some shit like that. It's some pretty creepy shit. I've seen some movies based on it. It's fucking cool though.
Wild shit, man. This show was like the first episode slow. Third episode, I was like, I'm in.
Yeah, so, sounds good. I probably have to watch it now. I just want to see a baby boil. The sequel to The Nun released on Thursday, and I got to catch it on Friday at an actual theater and not a drive-in this time. We had a babysitter, so we got a couple buzz balls. We took them into the theater. We drank them. We had a great time. But just because we had a great time doesn't mean this movie was great. But this is I believe the 9th film in the Conjuring franchise, but I believe it's the 3rd in the timeline. The Nun, also known as Valak, is back, and we actually get to learn a lot of her backstory, but without giving any spoilers, really. It's pretty fucking ridiculous what Valak is coming back and looking for. It's a little stupid, I believe, but the whole movie's pretty ridiculous, from kids beating up people to the way to defeat Valak. It's a fun horror movie. Wasn't scary. They had its typical like jump scares, but we enjoyed it. It was fun. There is a demon or creature that we see in the movie that I wish we got to see more of. But Nun 2 is not for me. It was okay. Check it out if you're into these kind of horror movies. But it's all right for me. But Deep Cuts.
Yeah, for Deep Cuts this week. Yeah, with The Haunting of Venice coming to theaters, we're doing like whodunits. Yeah. So this week I did Ryan Johnson's Knives Out. This movie released in 2019, and it has a killer cast. I know you like that wording there.
Killer cast.
After the death of Harlan Thrombey, he's a famous mystery writer. We learn about his family and like everyone that was involved around that night and why they would want to see him dead. I mean, this movie plays out in a classic. Like it's the best example of a great whodunit story. I don't want to give away too much of the plot or anything, but just for who appears, it's like Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon, Don Johnson, Toni Collette, Anna de Armas, Chris Evans, and one of the kids from Stranger Things is in this. And then you have Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc. He's the PI that's assigned to find the killer. Everybody does a great job in this. Right now, you can get it on, if you have cable, it's on TBS or TNT, or at a rent on Amazon for $4, or you can watch the sequel, Glass Onion, that's streaming on Netflix right now.
If we rewind to our recording right now, you could see the exact moment I realized when you said Daniel Craig. Yeah. Daniel Craig's in my movie as well.
Oh, yeah, he is.
So there's like a part of me which was like, oh, shit. For my whodunit movie, I'm picking David Fincher's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. This is a remake of the Swedish film with the same name, which is based on books following the same character, Lisbeth. And the original Lisbeth is played by Naomi Rapace, I believe. Rapace? I don't know. And in the remake, it's Rooney Mara. She partners up with a journalist played by Daniel Craig, and they have to find out what happened to an eccentric family's young member. The man who hired them believes it's someone in the family, so now they have to figure out who did it. The movie has some gruesome scenes in it, so heads up on that. It's not free to stream anywhere that I could find, but it is available to rent on Amazon for $3.99. But once again, customers, thanks for tuning in into this week's episode. Let us know your thoughts and comments or on any other topics we brought up today. And here's what's coming out this week.
Not anymore.